5 minutes of questions.
Thank you. When I was named ranking member of the Select Subcommittee, I made a commitment to keep an open mind about how the pandemic started, because understanding whether the novel coronavirus emerged from a lab or from nature is essential to better preventing and preparing for future public health threats and to better protecting the American people. Unless and until we see specific evidence on the origins of SARS-CoV-2, the scientific process requires that we examine all possible hypotheses with objectivity, which is why I have concerns, Dr. Morens, that you appear to have frequently denigrated and dismissed the gravity of this deductive process. In emails reviewed by the Select Subcommittee, you described laboratory-related origin theories as conspiracy theories and have said that considering these theories is quote-unquote wasting time and quote-unquote being crazy. While you have every right to evaluate the available evidence and to reach your own conclusion regarding the origins of the novel coronavirus, the maligning of other viewpoints by someone in your position undermines scientific discourse and reflects poorly on the research institution at which you served. And for the record, I want to make it abundantly clear that Select Subcommittee Democrats take seriously the charge of examining the various pathways by which SARS-CoV-2 came to be, including the possibility that it emerged from a lab. It is not our position that thoughtfully and objectively exploring these possibilities is quote-unquote wasting time or quote-unquote being crazy. In fact, 2 of the 6 agencies instructed by President Biden to take an objective look have found, one with low confidence and the other with moderate confidence, that it could have possibly have been a lab leak. But let me remind everybody, too, that 4 of the others with low confidence believe that it came from animal transmission. So it is still inconclusive. But to the contrary, it is in the advancement of ensuring that our nation and the global community are in the strongest position to prevent and prepare for future novel virus and pandemics. So, Dr. Morens, with that in mind, let me ask you, is it your view today that all laboratory-related origin theories of COVID-19 are conspiracy theories?
No, sir.
And is it your view that evaluating lab-related origin theories is wasting time and being crazy?
No.
So can I ask, what has changed your perspective on these matters?
I don't think my perspective has changed, and I discussed this in my previous, in the...
I'm referring to thinking that they're crazy or a waste of time. Has that changed, or do you still think that they're crazy?
They were made when I was thinking I was communicating in private off the government record, not as a government employee, but as a private citizen. And it was the same thing of dealing with Peter and these people, of being snarky and sort of making, you know, it was the coin of the realm to try to cheer Peter up with snarky comments and often profane comments. I apologize for that. I never thought, I shouldn't do that, and I never thought it would be entered, you know, and put forward in front of the American people. I shouldn't have done that, obviously. I recognize that. I was trying to help a friend by cheering him up with black humor and things like that. I never thought it was crazy. I did, as you said, I did believe from very early on that the evidence suggested that the virus arose from bats. And the evidence also suggested to me that the possibility of a lab leak or an engineering of the virus was extraordinarily low. But if anybody, a reasonable person, thought, or disagreed with me and thought that it merited further investigation, it should. I mean, you know, I'm only one scientist. There are other scientists, there are public officials who want to understand all this. Of course, if there's a reasonable belief out in the public domain that a lab leak occurred, efforts to find evidence of that should continue.
Now, an important aspect of the scientific process is acknowledging what the available evidence does and does not show us. And so I want to be clear that while I maintain an open mind to the various possibilities by which SARS-CoV-2 may have come to be, no evidence provided to the Select Subcommittee through our probe into federally funded research has demonstrated that the work performed under the NIAID grant to EcoHealth Alliance, including at the Wuhan Institute of Virology, led to the creation of SARS-CoV-2. The Select Subcommittee possesses no evidence demonstrating that any of the viruses studied under the grant could even possibly have been the progenitor virus. So with 6 months remaining this Congress, it is my hope that we take an objective, forward-looking approach to understanding COVID-19's origins. And with that, I thank you, and I yield back.
Now recognize Ms. Malliotakis from New York for 5 minutes of questions.
Thank you. Dr. Morens, you used your personal email to conduct official NIAID business.